Okay, so I'll first tell you a little bit about the new chart. Okay, it's not new, just 4-5 columns extra.
Just to make it easy.
Okay. First is that we have divided animals into invertebrate and vertebrate. This you know. So that doesn't change. Second, we have got 3 sections in that: aquatic, terrestrial and aerial. So we are not using water, land and this. In the aquatic, we have the first 3 columns, which is the same. We have the Cnidaria, Porifera, then we have the mollusks, then we have the crustaceans, then you have the reptiles, then you have the amphibians, and then you have the fish. This is the same. So just like you have 3 columns, now we have made 3 columns in the terrestrial. So the first is, in terms of elements, you have water, earth, fire, then you have water, earth and fire. This water, earth, fire I'll explain later, which I will not explain now. So the water element is the feminine element. So the infancy is actually nothing but extension of the womb. The first year of life, before you really stand up, like we say anal stage, where the child starts asserting himself, you are actually in the womb because your mother takes care of you. In human beings, the baby cannot stay in the womb for a long time because the mother has decided to stand up. So the pelvis is smaller. So the babies are born premature. So the first year of life is actually extension of the womb. That is why it is the water, aquatic water. And then you have the earth, where you are living on the earth. And then there is this fire element. So this fire element is, I forget what is. So here the preys are divided into 2 types, the water ones and the earth ones. So it is very understandable. You have remedies like the otters, the seal, the buffalo which is in the water. Then you have the dolphins, the whales, hippo. So you can see what I have done is first all of them, the 4th and the 5th were one. I have separated the water mammals as separate and earth mammals as separate. Otherwise no big difference. So actually the 4th and 5th was 4th and the 6th was the 5th. Got it? But the mammals in the prey I have made it into water. And it is very beautiful. Why? Because generally these water elements will show more emotional issues. How will you differentiate a buffalo from a cow? Cow has more to do with I'm exploited physically, I'm made to work whole day, I have to do for everybody. Whereas buffalo feels more emotionally exploited. When I will show you some cases, you will come to know how a buffalo can be separated from a cow. So this distinction is very important. So though you are out, you are still in water. You understood? It's very beautiful. Now it looks logical. And this whole thing, even in plants, you saw water, earth, fire, water, earth, fire. I'll explain that next time when I'm coming. I'll be teaching all about these elements. It's a very big change I have made, and I think it has really helped me a lot. It's a big understanding, an additional dimension. Right now when you hear this, you might feel, why we need this now. As it is, it was complicated. Once you will know it, you will like it. Believe me, I'm enjoying that part very much. So once you come to the mammals, what is important is how to differentiate a predator from a prey. This is exactly what she was telling. Is it a lion? Is it a tiger? Is it a cat? These are all predators. So in a way she was trying to tell us that it is not a predator, it is a prey. Now how do we see the mammal themes? Here 4th, 5th, 6th are terrestrial. I have put them all into infancy and childhood. This is very important. Infancy and childhood. That means the terrestrial animals are the first 12 years of life. What is the infancy part here? Mammary glands, sucking. You saw this sucking in this case. Sucking, oral, food, nourishment. What is childhood? Here, in mammals you see is superego, guilt. I get sex thoughts. Oh my God, is something wrong? So in the mammals, you see the superego and the milk issues. In the invertebrates, they are much less developed. So what do you see? In the invertebrates, In the infancy, you see instinctive, impulsive, instant gratification. These are also infancy stage. But you see the more primitive aspects of the infancy stage. So insects are instinctive, instant gratification. Instinctive, impulsive, instant gratification. And what is the childhood stage here? Not the superego, but industry. So all of them are industrious and instinctive. Here, all are nurturing, caring, loving, and superego. So they all have both the issues, the infancy, oral stage, and the school age. Do you get this?
So they are period 3 and period 4.
So they are a combination of period 3 and period 4 of the mineral kingdom. Got it? Yes.
You see here.
And so you can divide actually this map into 3 sections. First 3 columns is the womb stage. So this is like beginning of lithium line, this is middle of lithium line, and then you see leprosyphilitic here. So we have already done crustaceans, you saw mistrustful, anger, the fire element, destruction, the snakes, they can be destructive, they can be angry, right? Similarly, here you have the water, physical, and then you see the destructive element. And in the destructive element, you see the tiger, the lion, predator, anger, killing. This one is very mild, see this patient, hers, very mild, giving, yielding. The one who is giving end. In her partnership, you always have a complementary. She has got sepia, who's the man. So she is more the feminine element. So I believe, I don't know what she is going to give, which I believe, I think I know, but it is more from the prey element.
So this is one of the real things.
Fire. Fire is the destructive. What happens is fire has 2 things. Fire destroys. So in old age you see destructive aspect. Like today morning we saw adult old age, 3 cases, all destructive aspect of ulcerative colitis and this. Fire also moves things. Fire element is also the animal energy. I will talk about all this more. Just introduction, I think you should not bother. But now we know that there is mammal theme here, and we are also seeing now a prey aspect to it. Is this okay?
Yes. Thank you very much. So this part very much looks, especially the preys, look like this subclass 4 or period 3. When you come to the predator, you often see even aspects of like period 6, like what we see, for instance, with the Felidae and the lone wolves. They can be as dominant as we know from, for instance, Aurum. But in this woman, you see a prey, and it's not sucking what's here. She is sucked out. So we have to find in the remedy is sucked out. This is the most. I can show you the whole case. It's 1.5 hours. She will tell this over and over again, and with always the same hand gesture. Sucked out. Crazy. This must be in the remedy. So we have a mammal, and in the mammal we're going to look for, is it a prey or a predator? And with her it's clear it's a prey. So this you can do at home too. When you have a case, you see where you are, and you know it's an animal, and it's a luck to look, it's a prey or a predator. Makes lots of difference. Yeah? So it's a beautiful place. And when we look at her, in this prey, we have different stages of evolution. Would you give her an adult one? Is she, how you say it, an elephant? No. Is it adolescence? She is in the child. Puppy, mommy. The word puppy, it's I cannot imagine An elephant talks about puppy. Not in this way. It's more mature. She actually is a kind of child. When our house in Austria has to be our house, it's like my child-like place. My sister, I was 6, 7, went to boarding school. I still suffer on that. And actually what she's doing, she tells her she's eating everything in and she's ruminating. She's ruminating. Yeah? So she tells you everything. We don't have to know more than what she's telling us. Everything is about this. Sucked out. Which remedy is been sucked out everywhere over the world? It's a cow. Yeah? It's sucked out, it's a cow. Which one eats everything in and ruminates? It keeps ruminating. This is typically cow. Even here, what she's telling, what is her biggest hobby, is to find how the genetics are in her family. It's really interesting. In Holland, we have lots to do with cows, with us sucked out. When you have one good cow genetically, you have whole farms with one old cow with all the, yeah. And it's very important to know which cow comes from which family. It's like this genetic line when you are a farmer with cows. It's very, very important. Then you have Maria 1, Maria 2, Maria 3, Maria 4. And that's really important. When it's called Maria, it means this is a good line. So for cows, this genetic line, it's very, very important. And she tells about it. She tells about being domesticated. And she tells about how important it is, the family line. And what is her biggest thing? Her sister went away. She's living, cows normally live in a female cattle. She lives in a female relationship. Trying to fit in like, she looks like a male, but she's a baby. Yeah? She's really feminine. So it's really interesting. In all parts of her life, you see the same thing. So I gave her Lac de Florato.